be known as Teams Plus. The Plus representing the incorporation of an intensified focus in these next 4 years on social inclusion, gender equality, and youth development. In other words, we are strengthening and reinforcing our teams with a no one left behind philosophy. No one will be left behind on account of their social status. No one will be left behind on account of their gender or age. We will design all of our programs and policy to ensure that everyone is carried along and is catered for. This is our solemn promise to you, Lagosians.
Welcome to another interesting episode of Lagos from a View. I am Ruth Peterside. I am not here alone. I have with me
Adebola. This week's episode of Lagos from a View promises to be a bumper package. We informed you last week that the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, will on Monday, 4th of September, flag off the maiden commercial operation of the Blue Rail train service system in the state with 800 passenger capacity, traveling from Marina Terminal to Mautu Terminal. Now the governor was true with his words as he joined a number of Lagos State residents on the first strike.
We plan to have a private sector partnership. Our mass transit program is on course. The metro line is being discussed already. We have attracted the interest of World Bank once again. We think we are evaluating between the light rail that is less disruptive and destructive to the right of way.
History will be kind to the former governor of Lagos State and the current president of Nigeria, Adebola Ahmed Tinubu, for reviving and laying solid foundation for the Lagos Metro line. Excitement was thick in the air as Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu arrived at the Marina Blue Line train station to flag off commercial train service and get on board as the first passenger to board the train.
This is promise made, promise kept, right? We said that we're going to start by the end of last quarter, right? But we also wanted to coincide around our 100 days. So it's part of our 100-day celebration.
4th September 2023 will therefore go down in history as the day Lagos State government broke 24-year-old jinx to actualize the Metro Line's train service.
Well, we've done a lot of work. We've been doing this advocacy for 6 months. We had to actually pull back, ensure that we've crossed all the T's and dot all the I's. We've done all of the barriers that we need to do. We've put all of the signalizations and all of the signs that will show danger. We've interpreted, during the communication in various languages, in Yoruba, in Egu, in Igbo. Every of the, of these signs and signals are repeated in different languages so that people will get to know about it. But you can never be over-prepared. But we ensure that everything that is humanly possible, we've done it. And we'll continue to do the advocacy. The red line is going to be completed before the end of this year, by the grace of God. We're about 95-96% in all of it. So, for the red line, we have over bridges. So we're going to start commissioning the bridges maybe by the end of this month. Then we will start the unveiling of the various stations themselves. Red line is actually, in my view, actually even bigger than the blue line, right? So it will come. It will certainly come. I'm trying to get everything, all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted.
Some students also joined the governor on the train ride.
This is my first time of experiencing this type of movement before, and it is very interesting. And I am very grateful to Mr. Governor for all these things.
The experience was wonderful. I should even say interesting, because this is my first time being on a train, and we have a last track card. The card is the one that we put there. There is no money. Nobody's paying. Our teachers and principal, none of them paid. We just use the card. We could get on the train and we sat down, and it was awesome.
Interestingly, the level of acceptance of the Blue Line by residents was quite encouraging.
It's very laudable project because nobody ever believed it's going to come into reality. But today now it has come to reality. I'm sure everybody will be happy to see this kind of something.
Well, Lagosians will really, really turn up for this because this is day one, of course, and we have crowd. We have over 1,002 people here. So obviously, everybody will want to come because one, the fare is slash 50% off. From here to Mautu, you're paying just 350 naira. So a lot of Lagosians would want to come on board. Yeah.
I think the Lagosians will be happy. At least everybody wants to join, want to take a ride. They want to come into the train and see how it feels like, in Lagos. Not like Abuja, Lagos now. So I think the Lagos State Governor is doing a good job.
Regulators of the Blue Line hint that maintenance of sustainability of the Metro Line has been taken care of.
Government realizes that we cannot do this as business as usual. This rail system is going to be powered by electricity. So we cannot play any kind of game on it. And so we have a regulatory system in place that will ensure that this train is maintained as at when due.
The Blue Line is starting commercial operations with 12 trips and will gradually scale up to 76 trips a day on regular schedule. With the capacity to move more than 150,000 passengers daily from Marina to Mile 2 on the Blue Line, the quest to actualize multimodal transportation system is now a reality in Lagos.
The Ministry of Works visited Lagos recently as part of the Southwest Zone Road Infrastructural Assessment. During the visit, he commended the Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, on the level of road rehabilitation going on in the state. Let's listen to the conversation.
Your Excellency, I was so excited to see the jobs you're doing. The one that excites me most, apart from the cleanness of Lagos, the free flow of traffic that you have worked on, the rail line, the concrete is something I had to snap over and over, is the concrete road you are doing.
Yeah.
My God, I say that I now have a witness that this is the way to go.
Yeah.
Look at the massive work you are doing at, is it Ekbe? Yes, Ekbe site. You have also demonstrated concrete roads, in so many other sections, even through Lekki Road, dualized, very solid. And so Lagos has become my reference point in terms of, the agenda that we came, which is part of our renewed hope, that concrete road is the way to go. And I must congratulate you on that. Every part of Lagos is a construction site. And I want to commend you very, very highly in this direction. But sir, to checkmate these bridges, both the underwater, bridges and under the park, we are thinking that we can work with you in terms of deploying CCTV, CCTV, and then, map up a number of stations and have security, rapid response squad, that the moment we see something, either in the sea or this thing, then we deploy. It's quite cost effective because the damages this, dredging, excavation of soil we do will be more than the cost of this deployment, 100 times. So we need to look at it together and see what we can do in that respect. To commend Your Excellency for excellent working relationship with the federal government, it's your government anyway. And Your Excellency is to relocate all the illegal trading activities and squatters under the flyover bridge. If Lagos catches cold, the country will sneeze. So a quick intervention is always there, and Your Excellency, you have done quite a lot. This Fort Mainland Bridge, which I will almost be a prophet to know the name that it will be. It's a very wonderful, concept. and to underscore the partnership we have with you. We have tapped into that project. The project is going to superhighway from Lagos to Abuja, and it's going to be 4 hours.
Wow.
A total of 430 kilometers.
Wow.
It's going to be on this DMI, to build, operate, and then recover your money. And then we are tapping off from this your the Fort Mainland Bridge. So you have to be getting set to give us a laugh.
We are set. We are set.
I
It is for our people. Yes.
I saw that Fort Mainland Bridge.
Yes.
Showed us.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I commend you very highly.
You've seen it. We are a state that are also ensuring that we can bring about infrastructure development that would outlive us. It's not infrastructure that we want to come back to in 5-10 years. The concrete, road design that we're doing are things that will last 30, 40, 50 years. So, and let's bite the investment once and for all, and we can begin to see, the benefit of it. And that's how we also see ourselves. So we continue to see that collaboration within ourselves, and yourselves. But given the size of the city, we cannot leave everything to you. Federal government has built a co-bridge, they've built Qatar Bridge, they've built Third Mainland Bridge. Lagos State, by the grace of God, is going to be the Fourth Mainland Bridge. We are convinced that is long overdue. We're convinced that is important to the critical infrastructure of the state. And we're praying that we can indeed hit the ground running before the end of this year, as in real works, Your Excellency, Honourable Minister, it might interest you to know that the entire stretch of the Fourth Mainland Bridge is going to be like a 37-kilometer ring road with bridge, and it will eventually terminate on Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, right from the island around Abraham Adesoya. The blue line will now start carrying passengers.
Wow.
Yes, no matter we've done everything that we need to do, and it's an electric train, so all of the third rail, and the power that is required. But that's not where the story ends. Yeah. We're going to be inviting you, Mr. President, when the red line is ready, which will be also before the end of the year. We believe that November, December, the red line also should also, be ready. And really, at the end of the day, our people is about, governance. It's about purposeful, meaningful governance. Improve the quality of life, give your citizens access and options as into what they need to do, and just make life a lot meaningful for them. Make, movement from one part of the city, from one part of the country, very easy and seamless. And I believe that's what the federal government, this government is about, and that's what we are also trying to do, to be able to play a complementary role, for you, for your office, and for Mr. President. Honourable Minister, we cannot but wish you all the very best.
Over 500,000 households have benefited from the palliative distribution done by the Lagos State government. Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, lacked off the distribution at the State House, Alausa, in Ikeja. The distribution of the food items to the vulnerable through the Lagos Food Bank program is to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy by the federal government on Lagos residents.
The flag-off of the Food Bank program is part of the social and economic intervention programs by the Lagos State government to ease the pains some residents are experiencing due to the increase in transportation costs and food prices across the state. The Food Bank initiative is an addition to different measures rolled out and currently being implemented by the Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration. The measures include 50% reduction in transportation costs in the government-owned bus system and free health services for pregnant women in government hospitals. Speaking during the flag-off of the Lagos Food Bank program, at Lagos House, Ikeja, last Sunday. Governor Sanwo-Olu said the program will directly impact 500,000 benefiting households, noting that over 2,500 micro, small and medium enterprises were involved in bag manufacturing, food aggregation, packaging and logistics, while over 25,000 employees of the MSMEs will be indirectly impacted.
The procurement of all of these items were done locally. So we have to buy the rice from the local rice sellers in various markets, Ojuwe, Oshodi, Ikorodu, Epe, all various markets are the places where we bought these various items from rice, beans, gari, and all of it. So we did not take our money to go and buy from different other parts. We make sure that we create, economy locally. So the rice seller, the bean seller are all local people. They are all your relatives. They are all your fathers and mothers. They are all your siblings that are selling these things. They are from them that were bought all of these items.
Governor Sanwo-Olu assured Lagosians that adequate measures have been put in place to ensure that all items received get to the intended beneficiaries.
The distribution of these food items to vulnerable households will be done in groups. We'll do it through different groups, through different institutions, different non-governmental organizations. We'll use your CDCs and CDA. We'll use the people living with disability and people that are under our social protection list, which is like our vulnerable register under the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, which we call the Social Register of Vulnerable. We will also use other various implementing agencies like the religious organization, the Christian organization, the Muslim organization, and all other bodies like that. But to set up the monitoring committee from various groups. So we have from the trade union, we have monitoring from the people living with disability, from the CDC, we have from the religious bodies, the Muslim bodies and the Christian bodies. From the youth group, we have different representatives that we have chosen that will supervise, will ensure that it goes around all the various groups that we have identified and want to work with, so that it will be seamless. And this is just a ceremonial flag up. There are different locations in which these things will be distributed in all the 5 Ibile divisions that we have.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, who acknowledged the economic challenges being experienced by Lagos residents at this time, promised that his administration will do everything within its capacity to implement measures that will cushion the effects by continuing to initiate programs and projects that will uplift the people and provide quality living conditions to all.
Soccer has come the way of the 13-year-old Adebola Akin-Bright, whose alleged missing intestine story surfaced on social media recently as the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, promises to take up the medical treatment at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH, Ikeja.
The question is, where is the small intestine?
Governor Sanwo-Olu made the promise when he paid an unscheduled visit to Adebola and his mother, Mrs. Deborah Abiodun, at the pediatric ward of LASUTH. The governor pledged to take over his medical care by pulling all medical expertise from LASUTH and other resources to save the boy's life. It will be recalled that Deborah Abiodun had, in a Save Our Soul SOS message via social media, reached out to Governor Sanwo-Olu to appeal to him as a matter of urgency to probe the mysterious disappearance of her 13-year-old son, Adebola Akin-Bright's small intestine. She claimed the incident occurred while her son was receiving treatment at LASUTH.
After the surgery, the lead surgeon called us that they didn't see small intestine in Adebola's body. How did that happen? So I called the private doctor. The private doctor said, is it possible that this boy will be without intestine for almost, because we have been here since June 17, and the surgery was done July 14. That is it possible that for almost a month that this boy has been here. There is no intent, and the boy is still living.
But the management of LASUTH, in response to the allegations, affirmed that they did not willfully remove any organ or structure from Adebola's body while performing a corrective surgery, who had been previously operated on at a private hospital in Lagos.
We made it clear that the eating, there's a psychological part to eating and feeling full. Your stomach is full and you eat food and all that. That contributes to psychological well-being. But the nutrition you can only get from parenteral nutrition, which was what we had to be giving him. So progressively, of course, he would lose weight, and then it's not, because of shortage of resources, that was not also available all of the time. So that explains what she saw as, oh, the child just kept losing weight. That was, the child had been losing weight because when somebody doesn't eat, progressively, you still have muscle storage, fat storage, and progressively go down. So this child still does not have intestine, and the child is alive.
In response to the need to save the life of the boy, who has been undergoing treatment at LASUTH for over a month, Governor Sanwo-Olu, during his visit to the hospital, promised to do everything humanly possible to save Adebola Abiodun's life.
I want to encourage public people to say to you, everything that is humanly possible to save someone's life. That's your doctors, right? We're going to do everything to make you get well. Okay? So, but I want you to be strong. I want you to be strong. It's going to be difficult, but I want you to be strong. Don't give up. Okay? We're going to do everything that we can do to get your strength, to give you back your health, and to get you back to school. Okay? The whole country is looking at you and is looking at us. And it's our responsibility, God helping us, to make sure that you can get well. Amen. Okay? So don't give up. Okay? Thank you. Okay.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, after listening to both the mother of the child and the doctor who was in charge of Adebola's case, said what is paramount is the life of the 13-year-old boy, and therefore he will take up the case. Adebola's mother, Deborah Abiodun, therefore expressed appreciation to Governor Sanwo-Olu for the visit and for taking off the medical care of her promising young boy.
I must applaud the governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for stretching a hand of love towards the boy who needed a small intestine implant. Ruth, what do you have to say about this?
There's definitely still hope for the common man.
That wraps it up on this episode of Lagos from a View. We hope you had a great time with us.
Yeah, we rest assured that we will always bring you up to date on the achievements of the Lagos State government.
Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, TV Àjùmọ̀ṣe. Bye for now.
It will be known as Teams Plus. The plus representing the incorporation of an intensified focus in these next 4 years on social inclusion, gender equality, and youth development. In other words, we are strengthening and reinforcing our teams with a no one left behind philosophy. No one will be left behind on account of their social status. No one will be left behind on account of their gender or age. We will design all of our programs and policy to ensure that everyone is carried along and is catered for. This is our solemn promise to you, Lagosians.